I don't think I have audio right. Oh, I do. Okay. Nope, I don't. I do? Okay, my professional microphone has been acting up, so we're going to go with the one that's playing, that's utilized by StreamYard right now. So I guess I should say, hey, we're live! Hey, everybody, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. Please let me know that you can hear me. I've been having a multitude of issues with my Yeti microphone, more specifically the cord. I'm on the 4th cord. We think the problem is actually inside the port. We think we've discovered that today, so I'm going to have to buy a whole brand new microphone. I don't know if I'm going to go with another Yeti or I'm going to get one like Casey has. It just has one small piece that plugs into your computer and one piece you can clip to your clothing or even just put on the table in front of you. And thanks, guys. I see that you can hear me. I just realized I just keep talking and I don't know if people can hear me. I'm probably going to go with that one. It's probably going to be about $50 more than another Yeti. They're both going to be tax write-offs, clearly, because they're for our business, for our YouTube channel. But another Yeti runs the risk of me screwing up another cord, another port getting messed up. I am a klutz. I'm especially bad with technology. The ones Casey has, yes, they're $50 more, but it's like one piece that plugs into the computer and then one little piece that I would either clip on my clothes or lay here. And I think I have less of a chance of screwing that up. So, waiting for Casey to get home. He's moving. You guys, most of you know that. He's going to send me some information on the one he has, and I'll probably get that one. So, we're going to have to use my internal laptop microphone tonight, which is what most of you have been hearing on my pre-recorded videos lately. And I understand there's like an echo and it's not as good, but it's better than nothing. It's better than my old laptop. It's better than nothing. So I'm not even going to fart around with my Yeti tonight. We'll just use this. I'm done farting around. I'm done. 2020 has worn on my last ever loving nerve, and I'm just about done with 2020. Let's say hi to some folks. Wendy's here. Hey, Hip Flippin' Mama got her early Christmas present from her hubbo. He bought her Dymo 4XL and labels. That's the best investment for your business you'll ever make, is a thermal printer. I'm telling you. Beth is here from Picky Peaches. Colleen Gallagher is here. Welcome in. Very good friend of mine. Thrifty Space Queen. Jacqueline is here. Connie. Carrie Berry's mom. I haven't heard you. I just read your comment that you can hear me. Haven't seen you in a hot minute, girl. She's super cool, guys. I met her at Open. Linda Glass, Pete, Jamie's here. He's supposed to be napping, but he's here. Bobby loves the thrift nomad. Mary McQueen is here, guys. Christy, I see the question. I'm going to get to it in just a minute after I say hello, hello, hello. Norman the Frog are here, guys. That's Bill and David. They are also business and life partners like Keith and I are. Yes. So that side of Pennsylvania, where my very good friends Bill, David, Colleen, and Holly all live, is supposed to be getting like over a foot of snow. Not this side. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So Tess says, when someone requests a return and never follows through to send it back, does eBay close it out automatically or do I have to call? As of November something, it'll close itself out. I forget the exact date. It used to be, it would sit there indefinitely for months and never close out and you had to call. And I used to actually have to make notes and throw pens. I used to have to make notes in my handy dandy bullet journal. We have like at least 1 to 2 returns opened every single day. We have a high volume. We have probably 5 to 10 messages per day, depending on the day, fishing for partial refunds and returns. And then we tell them all the same thing. And maybe one of them or 2 of them will actually open a return, which is why I tell you guys don't give partials. And then of the 2 that open, let's say it's, 14 that open all week, maybe 2 will come back. So let's say on the low end, we get 25 messages a week fishing for partial refunds. 9 of those go away immediately when you ask for a return. And then of the 14 that are left, like 11 or 12 of them will go away. 12 or 13 of them will go away. Because they're just too lazy to mail, or they don't want to mail it back. They open the return to call your bluff to see if they can still get a partial. This is why we don't do partials. That's not the topic of tonight, but it is one of my soapboxes. Anyway, you used to have to call in, so I used to call every single day almost, the day after the deadline on something and get it closed out. And then I think it was November 17th. The concierge representative I spoke to said, as of that date, the returns had 10 business days or 5, whatever business days it is, and it would close out on its own. So you can just leave them. Ours are closing out all the time. All the time. We will get a few inches here. Ginger says, I sold something with free returns. Buyer wants to return it not as described, even though that's a lie. So if you have free returns on it and they return it, they should not be able to leave you a negative. And if they do, you can always call and ask it to be removed. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. I have buyers on free returns, open item not as described for, and I quote, doesn't fit. And they literally type, look how snotty I'm getting towards the end of 2020. They literally type, doesn't fit. Item not as described, because unfortunately, prior to free returns for many decades, eBay trained buyers in how to be a monster and lie and cheat the system 101. So they don't even, a lot of buyers still don't even know that some people offer free returns. They don't bother to check. They just go in to open the return and they start lying right away because they want a free return. It's 14 days. I think it's 10 business. Please don't quote me on that. I don't know. You'd have to look at the deadline. Let me see if I have one open. Let me share my screen with you guys. While I do that, so you're not just looking at me, looking at a window, looking at me. Then I'm going to open a present with you guys, and then we're going to get into the meat of the show. Oh, we only have 2 right now. That is amazing. Anywho. Requested December 12th. Oh, wait. This one's waiting for buyer. So this one was requested November 29th, and it's still sitting. What the heck? Why is that one still sitting there? Shouldn't be. Oh, because they have until the 14th to ship it back. So maybe it was like they said 5 days after their deadline. Or the day after. I don't know, because they had until the 14th. They opened it the 29th. So that would have been 5, 10 calendar, 10 business days, not calendar. 10, 11. They had 11 business days to open it, but it's still, to send it back, but it's still open the day after. So maybe it is 14. Maybe it's the initial 11 and then 4 more. I don't know. I honestly forget what the guy told me. I can't even remember what he said. November 17th, November whatever. Just because I don't remember. His name was Brad. I remember that. Or Chad. But they closed themselves out now. I'm not too concerned. I'm trying to find my notes. I've been recording all day. And you can see I have filled up pages of notes. Pages. I've been filming. I got scrap papers and some more notes, front and back. I think these are for tonight. These upside down. Okay, the ones that are upside down are for tonight. Okay, so speaking of snow, really quick. Y'all know that we have inventory out the Yahoo because I am not running out of inventory again. So I have tons of unopened boxes of startup, and I have all of the plush I purchased from Bill and Dave when I bought out their plush inventory. So I want to do 2 afternoon live shows this week. One, I'm just going to bring up like 20 to 30 plush to show you guys out of that lot. And then the other one, I'm going to open a startup box. So tomorrow, if it is snowing here, we will not, me and Keith are going to stay home, and I will do a live unboxing around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If it's not snowing here, we have a bunch of errands to run. We have inventory over his grandparents we've got to go pick up. We've got grocery shopping. We just got a bunch to do tomorrow. So if it's not snowing, we're going to get all of that out of the way. I have a pre-recorded USPS. Yes, another USPS video. I got a pre-recorded one on their postage hike. The rates are going to go up in January. If it is snowing, we're going to stay home. I will do the unboxing for you guys at 4 o'clock, and then Thursday we'll run our errands. And Friday I'll do an unboxing. So there's going to be one for sure on Friday, but whether there's one tomorrow or Thursday is going to depend on the snow. I don't control the weather. I wish I did, because it would be 80 degrees right now. Stars feisty. I am telling you, yes, Pete, 2020-itis for flipping real. I'm so over everything this year. This year's been a dumpster fire. Remember the extra inventory when you have to move. Oh, we do. That's why we're dropping all of our hard goods in January. Most of them. We're dropping most of our hard goods in January, and we're going down to things that can easily be stored in totes and thus moved, like clothing, shoes, plush. Okay, guys, I got some really nice Christmas cards from some of my good friends. I just wanted to give them some quick shout outs. David and Bill sent us a really beautiful Christmas card, and if you don't know, we're actually really good friends with them in real life. They're 2 of the best people I know. And so thank you guys for the Christmas card. I did thank them in private, but I wanted to give them a little shout out. Make sure you follow them on YouTube and Instagram. They're amazeballs. I love them both so much. And their card actually included my hamster. So they wished her a Merry Christmas, and I just thought that was so cute. And then we got a really nice Christmas card and Christmas present from our very good friend Colleen. And if you didn't know, Colleen's actually a very good friend of ours in real life as well. Both Colleen and Bill and David have gone to open with us. I actually roommated with Colleen at the last eBay open. We shared a room. We've been on vacations together and stayed in Airbnbs together. We're all just very close. And I do thank them privately because they are actual friends of mine. But I like to give them a little shout out too. So follow Colleen on Instagram as well. If you don't know her Instagram, I'm going to have to moderate her so she can put it in the chat. Is she not already a mod? She should be. She's not. What the hell is wrong with me? Da-na-na-na. Okay, Colleen, you're a moderator. Go ahead and throw up your Instagram so people can follow you. She knows a bunch about brand names and shoes. She's pretty amazing as well, and I absolutely love her too. So thank you guys so much for spreading the Christmas cheer. I know it's been a tough year, and anything that brings a smile to my face. And you made my hamster's day too. I told her they included you on the Christmas card. But look what Colleen sent me, guys. It's Baby Yoda, and it's a tiki class, and it's a drinking class, and I don't even know if I have the gall to open the box. This might actually just go up on my Baby Yoda shelf, because I don't know if I want to open it and use it, because I am a klutz and I'll drop it, and within a month, both of his ears will be glued back on. I'm not kidding you. Every single coffee mug I have, I collect coffee mugs, and I have comic book characters. I have Flash, I have Deadpool, I have Harley, I have the Joker. Every single one of them, Boba Fett, Star Wars. All my coffee mugs have their handles glued back on. So I really want to use it, but I don't know. But I have eggnog in there, like heavily spiked eggnog that might go well in this. So thank you so much. And that was from Colleen as well as this, you guys. Speaking of 2020-itis, I've been saying this all year, right? So Colleen had to go and get a Christmas ornament made for me. And we didn't put up a tree this year because, well, one, we're moving soon, and two, F 2020 in the face because I'm tired of it, and I'm not going to put up a tree this year. But next year, after we're all moved and settled into our new home in Florida, we will be putting up a tree, our first tree in Florida. This will be the first ornament to go on the tree. So Colleen had this made for me. Look at this. She is the best. 2020, written inside of a turd, year of the poop. So I have a Christmas ornament that for the rest of my life will forever remind me that 2020 was the year of the poop, and that is absolutely what it is. So I love this. It'll go on my tree next year when we put one up. And speaking of, thank you so much, you guys. Speaking of year of the poop, let's talk about the fiasco that is the United States Postal Service. I got to welcome Robert in, you guys. He's got a blue wrench there, Zombie Bargain Hunter. Welcome him in. Follow him on Instagram and YouTube as well. He's very knowledgeable on Plush. Two Dudes Picking, welcome in. Hope. Swimmerization. Toast don't help well. We're not putting anything in storage. It's just going to go straight into a pod and or moving truck. We'll be fine. We're probably going to have a warehouse by the time we move, so down there. I'm just kind of peeking through the chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, so 2020 is the year of the poop. We're going to get into the USPS. I'm going to say some things that are very unpopular. I'm probably going to touch on some stuff that's controversial. And I'm not going to pull any punches. Hashtag tough love. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you what I think. And it is what it is, because I do not blow unicorn farts up anybody's asses on this channel. We tell the truth here. The only thing I do want to say before we go into this is I don't want the comment section, either here live on the side or down below in the replay, to end up in a dumpster fire of political insults and children not knowing how to control their mouths or their fingers on the keyboard. So let's keep politics out of it. You can absolutely talk about what's going on at the Postal Service without touching upon politics. You can talk about how it's affecting us as resellers and our businesses without resorting to name calling and just in general being jerks. Please don't be turds. Moderators are here to moderate the chat over there. So if any of you decide you want to be a turd, they're going to get rid of your comment. And I do have all comments approved on this channel. So if you can't act like an adult during when the replay goes up, your comment won't appear below. So if you really have something to say, keep politics out of it. Be an adult. Be respectful. And the number one rule around here and in my Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod, don't be a turd. Don't be a turd. It's not that hard. Okay. So, Mama says, no drama, Mama Zone. We can have a little bit of drama. We can have a little bit of controversy, a little bit of tough love. But we don't have to resort to name calling and acting like assholes and children, right? That's like my fourth swear. I have got to clean my act up for 2021. Okay. What's going on with the Postal Service? If you don't know by now, you've been living in a hole, a hobbit hole, or under a rock. They are the worst excuse for a business I've ever seen. I don't care if they're government ran, if they're union, non-union, if the taxpayers are paying for it, if they're getting their money from handouts on Broadway Boulevard and 5th Street. Worst excuse I have seen for a business in a very, very long time. If you yourself or someone you know or love or is friends with works for the Postal Service, I am not talking about anyone in particular. I'm not saying their employees or their workers are bad. I'm saying the United States Postal Service as a business is the worst ran Worst excuse for business I've seen in a long time. If any other business was doing what they're doing, they would be held accountable. They would absolutely be held accountable. They would have to be giving people money back. They would have to be issuing refunds and insurance claims and basically answering for their actions. And they're just like, whatever, we're going to do whatever we want. We don't have to answer to anybody. If you know what, the two biggest dumpster fires right now are the year 2020, all of it, everything that's been going on, and the United States Postal Service. So, yeah, they're not treating their employees right either, from what I understand, because they're short-staffed, they are underemployed, and they're not treating them well, but they are a union, so they do have repercussions for that. You can't feel as sorry for them as, say, a single mom who working at Walmart who has no choice and no repercussions and no union. Just saying. So they're losing packages. They're not tracking things. They are taking weeks to deliver stuff that's supposed to be taking days. And then on a smaller basis, some of the employees, some of them are refusing to do their jobs. They're not picking packages up off the porch. They're not scanning items in. And they're generally being Grinches at this time of year. I understand that it stems from a lot of frustration. And like I said, they are short-staffed. We were told by our clerk, we are very blessed, by the way. I'm going to tell you that right up front. We've only ever dealt with two clerks. We had one named Amber. She was with us for our first couple of years of reselling. She left on maternity leave, and they moved her to a different post office when she came back. And then we've had John since. I've loved both of them immensely. They've been great people. We give them Christmas gifts. We give them just because gifts. I bring them goodies, snacks, water, cookies, you name it, because they're good people. I will not, we're going to get into this in a little bit, but I'm not going to bribe someone to do their damn job. If you're doing a crappy job or you're a jerk, you're not getting a Christmas bonus from me. You're not getting a Christmas card. You're not getting cookies. I don't care. But if you're a decent human being and you can do your job and you're respectful of me and you don't act like I owe you something because you're doing your job, then I will give you cookies and cards. That's a controversial topic in the Facebook groups as well. You shouldn't have to start giving them goodies to get them to do their job. We don't bribe anyone else in this world to do their job. I don't go to Walmart and make excuses for myself and tell the girl, I'm sorry that I bought $200 worth of groceries. This is my big shopping trip. I bought too much. I'm so sorry that you have to wring all that out. I feel so sorry for you. Why should you have to scan each and every item? Let me give you some money or some cookies. No, it's her flippin' job, and the people at the post office are making far more than the girl at the grocery store. Far more. Benefits, over $20 an hour, and it's their flipping job as well. So if I have 5 packages or I have 20, guess what you can do? You can scan them because it's your job. The girl at Walmart doesn't look at me and go, we're busy today and we had 3 cashiers call out and you have more than 3 items. I'm not doing it. You don't hear any of the BS from anyone else that you hear from postal workers. I understand they're stressed out, they're understaffed, they're being treated incorrectly. Then get another job. That's all I can tell you. If you're that miserable, get another job. If you don't have a choice and you have to be there, guess what? You are in a union and you do have choices. So working in the warehouse is tough and walking the beat is tough. I will give you that. If you work in the warehouse, you walk the beat, it is a tough job. If you're standing at the counter and all you have to do is scan packages all day, it's not tough. It's no tougher than being a cashier. In fact, there are many tougher jobs out in the world, like waitressing and customer service, like just tons of jobs that are just as, if not harder. And they don't make as much money and they don't get as many benefits. I'm kind of off on a tangent right now because we're talking about them expecting stuff, but a lot of them have this entitlement. I've seen it in Facebook groups. I've seen a postal worker come into a Facebook group and tell us as a group, hey, resellers, you'll have more luck with your postal worker picking up your packages if you leave him cookies. Excuse me, if I go to the USPS website, it offers me a service where I can sign up to get my packages picked up. If I sign up for that service and I pay for my postage, I expect you to do your damn job. I'm not going to bribe you to do it. Don't tell resellers that we should leave out snacks for you. You make more money than a lot of people. Buy your own damn snacks. All right, currently, I beg to differ with that because our postal worker told us they're not offering overtime. So while he's had to work a couple of long 12-hour days, they're cutting him off at 40 hours. He used to work 100 hours a week by choice. Back before they had the employee shortages and everything, he used to do it by choice. He'd pick up as many hours as he could because he likes the money, but they're cutting him off at 40 now. Now, I don't know if that's countrywide, if it's just our post office or what's going on, but not all of them are. And if they are, a lot of them do that by choice because they make buku money for overtime. All right. We give waitresses tips only if they do their job right. So two dudes picking, tell me if your waitress came out of the gate, came over to the table and threw the menus down at you and popped her gum and rolled her eyes and got a little sassy attitude with you and gave you bad service, you gonna leave her a tip? No, you're not. You're not going to leave her a tip because she sucked at her job. If your postal worker is a jerk and they're rude and they consistently refuse to pick up your packages off your porch, or they consistently refuse to scan them in at the post office, and they consistently refuse to give you the service that you are paying for as a customer, you are not going to give them tips. You're just not. And if you're tipping asshole waitresses and jerk post office people, you shouldn't be. Save your money. Give it to a waitress that's good. Give it to a postal worker that's good. I will go above and beyond. I've tipped 30-40% on checks. I have given out huge, nice gifts to postal workers. But that's if they're doing their job correctly and they're not jerks. If you aren't doing your job right, why should I reward you? I never taught my children you get anything for free or you get rewards. You have to do anything correctly to get your rewards. Let's see. I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick. USPS, yeah, I already addressed that. But see, she's got a union. I don't understand that. I used to be in a union, and I don't understand that. I don't see how that's happening if you're in a union. Yeah, we've been pretty blessed. That's why I said that up front. I've had to deal with subs that were there when our normal guy took days off that were absolute nightmares. Like, to the point where I just didn't even want to take my packages in because I knew I was going to get into it with them. Bingo, Peter, on the head, nail on the head. Working overtime and long hours isn't new to us as small business owners, so why should our businesses have to go under and all of us be losing money for something that isn't even our mistake? Yep, just like that. Like I just said, the substitutes were awful. Yep, mine said that too, Megan, exact words. Most of them are lazy is what he said to me, quote unquote. I'm not saying that. Sassy Star. Love Sassy Star. They don't call going postal for nothing. Yeah, but you know what? I used to do direct care. And I didn't act out on the people that I took care of for their families just because I was stressed and working 100 hours a week and I was understaffed and I didn't have anyone to come in and take my shift. I never took it out on people. It's not an excuse. I don't care. I don't care. It is not an excuse, and it never will be, and I will never accept it. Yeah, it is legally. There you go. I never really waited tables, but I was a bartender for a while. Yes, I do. I think I just went over that. My postal workers get more than just cookies from us. They get Christmas gifts. They get gift cards. They get, I used to bring Amber just like little hand creams from Bath and Body, little hand sanitizers. Yeah, absolutely, because they're nice. My waiters, if they go above and beyond, they get 25% tip from me. I'm not a stingy person. I have money to share and I will share it, but not if you're a jerk. You know what I mean? Pass the cookies. I would never tip for bad service. I'm sure that tossing 80-pound bags in the truck conveyor is not easy, but again, there's other jobs out there that you can get. I used to toss 250, 300-pound people in and out of a shower, a bed, a wheelchair, a van. That's how I eventually hurt my back, and I'm disabled now. But if I didn't like it, I didn't have to be doing it. And people weigh a lot more than 80-pound bags. I'm not trying to be like controversial or start an argument with you. I understand that it's hard work, but there's a lot of other hard jobs out there too. There's other warehouse jobs. There's other factory jobs. There's nurses, nursing assistants, people who work in nursing homes. There's construction workers. There's lumberers. There's electricians. There's a lot of folks out there doing really, really hard, physically hard, laborious jobs. And they're not in unions, and they're not making $20 an hour, and their whole entire company isn't screwing up and ruining the business of other people while they get away with it. So I want to address the cases being opened because I've heard some things. Yeah, the one that got relocated because after maternity leave they put her somewhere else. I think she put in for it. I actually think she wanted to be closer to home because she has a toddler and a new baby. I'm friends with her on Facebook now. I mean, we're not like besties. We're not going to go on vacation together, but I like her and I talk to her. I love my regular mail late. The subs. There was one, he hated me so bad, you guys. Side note real quick. He hated me so bad that as soon as I came through the doors, you could see it in his eyeballs. Keith said it was like, if looks could kill, I would have dropped dead. Because I would come in and his hand would go on his hip. And he would do his... He would look me up and down very sassily, like... And then he would do the teeth sucking... And then he would roll his eyes and be like, help you? He hated me. Because one time I forgot a bulk scan sheet one time and I made him scan everything in. But he didn't know how to scan it in. And so he had to sit there and type all the numbers. He hated me. Hated me. Anyway, he eventually got pulled off the counter and he only works in the back now because, and I quote, I was told from our normal worker, he was deemed not appropriate for the front counter because he couldn't get along with people. Yeah, healthcare is hard. Dying here yourself. I try. Okay, so we all know what's going on, right? The packages are being lost. Stuff's not being scanned. Things are showing up late. A lot of workers are getting fed up and refusing to do their jobs because they're just angry and they're mad and they're being mistreated. And then the stuff that's not being delivered, a lot of buyers are starting to open up item not received cases. And if you watched my video last week, when eBay finally spoke out about all the delays, their idea of seller protection is an additional 10 days on the case. Woohoo! That's more snottiness if you didn't catch it. So now when the USPS loses something for a whole month, we get to wait a whole extra 10 days before we have to pay the person back. And then, let's say, I'm going to pick someone that's really, really nice that would never be a turd. So let's say Shelly ordered this from me. And then a month later, she opened an item not as described case. Now, normally within 3 days, if I don't put the tracking in, I would have to refund Shelly. Now they're giving you 10 days. But regardless of whether you get 3 or 10 days, if you put that tracking number in and it doesn't show delivered, you're refunding the buyer. And then the buyer gets the item. How many people are going to receive this and be Shelly and be honest and contact Flippin' Hippos or the Hippo Hut and say, hey, yo, Hippos, I received my Yoda and I want to pay you back for it. Nope. Guess what? They're going to be like, woohoo! I got a free Yoda and my money. They're going to be excited. They're going to be happy. Why? Because Amazon trained them to be that way. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to return something on Amazon and they're like, don't even bother returning it. Just here's your money. So, eBay kind of helped, but they didn't really. So when the buyers are opening these cases and you're refunding them and then the thing eventually shows up, you're not getting your money back. I'm sorry to tell you that. You're not. There's somebody in the chat who I won't call out, but I can tell you she is in the chat. And if she wants to say who she is, she can absolutely say who she is over in the chat. But I personally know someone who has like 40 cases open against her right now because 40 items got lost and or are late. 40 items. And all 40 of these buyers, she's got more than that are late and lost. But 40 of the ones that got late or lost had not received cases open on them, and her managed payments monies went into the negative. And she may not be getting money from eBay for a while. Fortunately, she's a pretty big seller, and you know this isn't going to make her destitute or not pay her mortgage or lose her house or not eat or anything. She'll be okay. But imagine the small person or a hobby seller, they would not be able to absorb that. There's just no way. There's no way most of us could. Unless you're making 6 figures and you have a ton of capital in the bank and you're a huge, huge, huge seller, which some of us are. And even then it would make me angry. I'm sorry, if I had to refund 40 items and let's say they were all $20 items, that's $800 during fourth quarter that you're refunding. But not only are you refunding that $800, it's not like you're getting the 40 items back to resell to try to recoup a loss or at least break even. You're out the $800 and you're out the 40 items. That's so frustrating. So yeah, I think she outed herself. So yeah, 40 things open. That's not good. They're going to all have to be refunded. And then while we were talking about that last night, it was also brought up that apparently there's some big Posh seller who has 3,000. Let me type that out for you so you can kind of get what I just said. Can you imagine this many? Well, I even typoed and couldn't spell. Who cares? Can you imagine 3,000 lost packages? Can you imagine that? Yep, a lot of people are doing that. We're going to talk about that in just a second. See, 150 is going to hit Awkward Pause hard. 300 is going to hit M Quattro. Not everyone is big. Not everyone can absorb these. Extended delivery estimates, but on my sales the last few days, that has not been the case. Yep, we're still showing 2 days in prime priority in most places because we do same day shipping. Let's see. I would believe that Manish would do more to protect his sellers than eBay would do to protect theirs. Manish is pretty cool. He's pretty down to earth, and he cares about his buyers and his sellers. Yeah, unfortunately, Kim, a lot of folks do. There's a lot of full-time resellers who, even though we have multiple streams of income, our biggest stream is eBay. We have lots of multiple streams of income, but our biggest one is always going to be eBay. Well, it is eBay. Not all, I shouldn't say always, because that's I'm wondering if you mean insured like yourself or through the post office, because that's the other thing I've heard. In addition to all the cases that are being opened and people having to be refunded and the lost packages, they are also declining all insurance. The priority mail where you can open a case to get your insurance on it, that's like $50 or whatever, they're declining all of those. Yeah, it's a big operation. Yeah, the USPS, unfortunately, they are not denying claims right now, or they're not accepting claims. They're denying them left and right, literally for stuff that's smashed and you show photos and everything. I think it was Vicky, of Katie and Vicky, that I saw. She had a customer in Puerto Rico, and she said something like you're going to get somebody in Puerto Rico to go to the trash bin and take out their package and get the pictures and shit that they want. Stuff. I'm getting real comfortable with y'all because my mouth. All right, so here's the thing. I understand that buyers are frustrated, so now we're going to talk about the buyer side of it. Buyers are frustrated, and I 1,000% understand that. If I bought something ahead of time, like say November, to get it in time for Christmas, and it takes a whole month to get there, and then it's late for Christmas, I'm going to be frustrated. If I was a lay person, I mean, I shop online too, and I kind of understand these things because I'm also a seller. I did over Cyber Monday weekend, I purchased myself a new sweatshirt hoodie. So cool. I can't wait till it comes to show you guys. It has all the horror movie guys on it. It has Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Jigsaw. I think the kid from Chud. I'll show it to you guys when it comes. It's got so many guys on it. It's all my horror movie guys. It's still not here. I ordered it on Prime. I ordered it on Amazon Prime. And 2-day delivery. Still not here. If you check the tracking, it's stuck somewhere. So I'm more understanding because I'm not a layperson, but these layperson buyers who don't sell don't understand. Excuse me, choking on my own spit, getting excited. They're mad, and I understand that, but does their entitlement trump our rights as sellers? Excuse me. I mean, should their entitlement give them their money back and a free item versus us giving out crap tons of free items and going out of business and not being able to pay our bills and not having capital? I mean, we're going to be fine. Like I said, the big sellers, obviously, most of us can absorb it. It sucks. And it could probably be a tax write-off. But the small sellers can't absorb that. So is it fair to tell the small sellers, you're going to have to go out of business, you're not going to have capital, you're not going to have extra money for vacation or to pay your debts or whatever you're selling for, because these buyers are entitled? They want their stuff and their money? I don't think it's very fair. Time Travelers Coin Exchange. Hello, welcome in. We're just talking about the year of the poop, 2020. This will continue. We get into January. Is anybody really gonna have anything to return? Like, no one's getting anything. Oh, I love that, Kim. Perfect. Sounds like they make up their rules as they go. Prime is no longer Prime. When I open the lost mail claim, not for refund, but where's the package, I can enter my address to ship it instead of the buyers. If the PO found it. Home diggity! I need to do a video on that. I need to research that. Thank you, Mike Quattro, and do a video. So lost mail. Because if that's true, I need to do a video and a screen share because that's important. Okay, so that's one of the things I want to address. Unfortunately, FedEx and UPS are not viable options for all resellers. It's not. If you sell used clothing, first class items, mostly plush, things like that, and you start shipping through FedEx and UPS, the amount more that you're going to be paying in shipping than the discounted first class you can get on Pirate Ship or eBay is going to be infinitely more and cost so much more than I think even the lost packages, if that makes sense. I personally don't, and also, yeah, I should add that for us, the UPS is like 2 miles away, so that's okay convenient. The FedEx that we would have to drop off is 6 miles away, across 3 bridges, over 2 rivers, downtown, where you have to feed a meter to park, or one of you has to jump out of the car while the other one drives around. And very, very inconvenient. Plus the traffic getting there, I said it's 5 miles. It takes 2 hours sometimes round trip to get out there because of all the traffic. It goes through a college town. It goes through like a main thoroughfare. It's just not convenient. So you're welcome, M. Quattro. It's not. FedEx and UPS are not viable for a lot of folks. What about resellers who live out in the boondocks and up until now never had an issue with scheduling a pickup and just left their stuff out by the mailbox or on their porch and would have to drive miles and miles into town to get to a UPS or FedEx? What if it snows where you live and it's not feasible to go out and drive? I hope that's not true. I think that would be illegal, would be my thought, but one of the last packages was supposed to go to a town within a couple hours. I would have just dropped it off, right? Right? There you go. Morgan says the same thing. An hour away. I can't drive 2 hours every day or pay extra for each pickup. Just leave your car parked in front of the building. So Casey, yeah, Casey wouldn't get that on film because I'd be the one person that would pop him in his face. No, I'm kidding. I did not just threaten him on live TV show, live YouTube. He doesn't do that anymore though because I think he got threatened a couple times. Google where lost mails goes. I'm going to Google that. All right. We should extend our handling time. Okay. So there's like 2. Not everybody has pickup from FedEx or UPS where they live. Just saying. They don't offer it to everybody depending on where you live. Sometimes it's too much more money. FedEx and UPS are great alternatives for a lot of people, but not for everyone. And if it is viable for you, if you sell something that would be worth it, if they do pickups for you, if they're like next door and convenient, do it to it. But a lot of areas don't offer pickup. All right. So this is the 3 things that I've heard people are doing to help, right? The first one is to switch to FedEx or UPS. Well, we've already talked about how that's not viable for everybody. The second one is to put your handling time out and ship on time. No, it would be shipping early. All right, so we do same day, right? So it would be like we would put out our handling time to 5 days or 4 days or 3 days, but we would still ship every day. That would give us the extra 3 days because the buyer doesn't think it's going to ship for 3 days, so they're told it's going to arrive in 9 or 10 days, right? But we mail it the same day. Now we have 10 days to get it there instead of 2 or 3. Does that make sense? So some people are doing that. If you do not rely on eBay for a full-time job, if this is not your business that you built up from the scratch, from the bottom, and this is your only way of having income, if you don't rely on this to pay bills and eat, I would say by all means, do that. if this is a hobby for you, if you're just selling to make some extra money and you don't really care, move your handling time up and continue to ship every day or every other day, whatever you normally do. Give yourself that buffer. But if this is your full-time job and this is a business for you, you shouldn't do that. Buyers are not looking for folks that are taking 3 days to ship it, 5 days to ship it. Buyers are trained by Amazon and now somewhat eBay to expect same day or next day handling, shipping. So I'm going to tell you, I honestly believe it's a pretty high percentage, probably like 99% of buyers, when they search for an item and they have the choice between 5 people who are shipping in 5 days and 1 person who's going to ship tomorrow, they're going to pick the person who's shipping tomorrow. They could have everything else the same. They could have the same title, the same product, the same photos, the same price, the same shipping cost, the same return policy. And if 1 person out of 6 ships tomorrow and the other 5 ship in 3 days, they're going to pick the person that's shipping tomorrow. It's just how people are. I also think you could be more expensive and ship quicker, and they're going to pick you too. Buyers just, they don't want to wait. They want their stuff now. So I wouldn't really recommend it unless you don't rely on this money, because you're going to be losing out on a lot of sales and a lot of buyers. But on the other hand, if you are a small seller or a hobby seller and you can't keep absorbing the cost of refunding items, then yes, you probably need to do that, or the next thing we're going to talk about. But again, this is, that's for people who have a different way to pay their bills, who, if it takes months and months to recuperate from going on vacation mode or going on hold or putting your handling time out, will be okay financially. So the third thing is to put your store on hold. I wouldn't do that either. I really think that's a bad idea. Yeah, you also lose top rated status. So that's not a good thing either, because that gives you a bigger discount on your final value fees and your shipping and blah, blah, blah. But as far as putting your store on hold, I wouldn't really recommend doing that either, because you're missing out on sales. I mean, unless you are totally going under from all of this, or you just can't afford the returns that have happened, or the refunds that have happened, unless it's been really detrimental to you and it's going to get worse for you financially, I would leave it on. People are looking for fast shipping, and they're looking for stuff to buy. So if you move your shipping up, your handling time up, or you turn your closet off, your store off, you're not making those sales. So, I mean, you have to weigh your own personal situation. If this is detrimental to you, then by all means do whatever you need to do to stay afloat. But don't do anything that's going to hurt you financially, your family financially, or your business. So we are going to continue business as usual. We are not doing anything different. Keith and I are still one-day handling. We're still open for business. We're still listing every single day. We're still keeping our store active. Everything I've been teaching you guys for 3 years, all the best business practices, we're still doing every single day. All right. I guess that's the end of my, I have a note here that says, do your job. Do your job! Darn it, postal people, do your job. We got about 7 minutes, so if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the chat, and I'll get to them before I go. Thank you for that. Well, they're going to be mad, or they're going to be mad. I mean, I would rather make more sales than put myself in a position where my handling time is out and I'm not making sales. But again, this is a business that supports 2 people full time for us. It's not a hobby. It's not anything. This is our job, so we have to continue business as usual. I've heard the opposite of that from some people. I've heard that first class and poly bags aren't getting lost, and Christmas cards and things like that aren't getting as lost as priority packages. But it could, everybody's situation is different. What everyone is experiencing is different. I know people who have had 0 late or lost packages. 0. And I just told you about someone I heard about that had 3,000. So, I don't know what to tell you. I agree with that, but eBay ain't going to do it. It's too much work. Listen, eBay's operating on a software system that is antiquated from like 1994 or 1996, and they just keep coding on top of it. They're not going to implement an escrow. It would be nice if they did. That way, if the buyer got the item, we'd get our money back, but it should have been on the receipt when you checked it in, or did you not get the package checked in or scanned in? If I have to drive into town, that's what I got to do. That's kind of how I feel, except I'm not going to use FedEx or UPS. We're going to keep doing more down. Glitchapalooza. So Peter says, I've had poly and boxes first and priority delayed and lost. Some places are getting faster than others. Like I said, I know some sellers who haven't been affected. I know people who have been affected badly. So I don't know. I've never had my packages picked up. I've always taken them in. We live a couple blocks from the post office. That way I could stand at the counter and watch them scan my bulk scan sheet and get my receipt and know they're doing what they're supposed to do. And I would think that each package would have that information upon check-in. Check your tracking number. And if that doesn't give you the answer, call your local post office and just ask them. I heard they're also shipping at USPS. I don't know. Who knows? Absolutely welcome, time travelers. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for your input and commenting, as well as along with everyone else. It's always definitely a much more lively and much better live show when folks interact and comment and carry on conversations on the side and respond to what I have to say. And I also have to say that I really like live shows where not everyone 1000% agrees on everything, because talking about things and different points of views and debating things like adults, you know, responsibly with matureness, says the girl who got sassy and imitated a gum-toting waitress. But you know what I mean? It's refreshing to see a bunch of people that can have different viewpoints and say their different viewpoints and talk about them. And kind of, like, I always try to come from a point of understanding. I can understand why some people are putting their store on hold. I disagree with it. I would never do it. It is not for me. It would kill us dead in the water. We would spend all of 2021 recuperating. So I can't agree with it, and I would never do it. But I can certainly come from a point of understanding of why other people do it. So I like to hear about other people's viewpoints. The UPS FedEx is definitely interesting, because I know some people live in areas where you can schedule pickups. You can walk 2 blocks down the road and drop them off. And then there's people like Robert and Shelly and some other folks that live out in the boonies that they just won't come get the packages, and it's just too much hassle. And if it's snowing really bad, or you live in a bad area as far as winter weather, that's a no-go. Wow, that's awesome, Robert. I mean, you could, Pamela. I've heard in some people's experiences that has helped. What they're doing is they're looking at the tracking number, seeing wherever it's stalled and calling there and inquiring, hey, my package tracking number says it's stalled in Indiana or Detroit or wherever. And then it just miraculously starts moving the next day, or picks up a ding on the tracking the next day. I've also heard people who've called and seen no results. Doesn't hurt to try. If you have a couple minutes to call and they're going to answer the phone, doesn't hurt to try. But that's because probably Amazon pays a lot of money to FedEx to pick those up. But FedEx itself doesn't want to pay for the amount of money it would cost to pick up packages. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. There you go. There's an answer. We always do everything in bulk and just have it all scanned in at once. And I've never really checked. I don't think yeah, we've bought insurance. We sent a $500 camera with signature confirmation. I think that's the only thing we ever bought extra insurance on. I'm probably a liar. We probably have. Don't listen to me. I'm thinking out loud. So that's a lie. I'm going to address this real quick before I go, because this is one of my other pet peeves. It's already 8 o'clock, but I'm going to address this real quick. This is a pet peeve of mine. It's a pet peeve of Casey's too. Do your job. Do your job. There are lots of places in this world where people work that have hard jobs that have been affected by the virus, that are running on smaller staffs, that are running shorthanded. I don't know, like the hospitals. And it's not an excuse to not do your job. Normal times, now times, what's going on now, 2020, the virus, holidays. We have 10 extra staff in the back. We have one person call out today. I don't care what the situation is. There is never an excuse not to do your job. You're not going to walk into a Walmart and be told that you're not allowed to buy groceries that day because they had a cashier call off and they don't have enough people to ring out your groceries. They're not going to turn you away from buying the food that you need because we don't have enough cashiers. You're never going to have that happen. You're never going to walk into a hospital and be turned away with possible COVID complications or heart attack or something very serious because they're short-staffed. You're never going to walk into a nursing home or other place where they do care and find that people are being neglected because, well, you would hope. But you're not paid to not do what you're there to do. Whether your job is to follow the elephant in the parade and shovel his big steaming freaking dookie piles, or your job is to scan packages in while you stand at a counter, or scan groceries in, or drive a truck, or lift someone in and out of bed, or do physical therapy, or build a house, or run the electrical work. I don't care if you're driving a train or a plane. Whatever your job is, guess what, folks? You applied for that job knowing what it was. You applied for it because you wanted it. Then you went in for an interview where you were interviewed and told all about the job and the requirements for the job and what would be required of you and what your benefits would be and how much money you would make. And when they called you and offered you that job, you took it and you agreed to those terms. So you're not going to stand there ever. I don't care if you're a postal worker or a Walmart person. You're not going to tell me you're not going to do your job because you're short-staffed. I don't care if you're short-staffed because of a hurricane, a virus, the flu, a whole horde of rats came in and chewed up your house last night. I don't care. I don't care. Do your flippin' job. If you don't like your job, get a different one. I know that sounds really super harsh, guys. I know it does, But listen, even those of us, and I've been there, trust me, before I was a direct care worker, before I owned my own business with Keith, before I was a lot of things, I was struggling. I've been poor. I've eaten top ramen for dinner 20 nights in a row. I've had to call the lights and the gas and everything else and beg them not to turn me off. I've had to call a car company and cry and beg them not to come repo my car because I couldn't afford my car payment. I've been there. I'm not just coming from a place of, oh, I'm better than you. No, I've had shitty jobs. I've had terrible jobs that hardly paid me anything, where I worked really hard, probably harder than what I was being paid to do. And I've been in a place where I had to take a job because guess what? My lights were about to be turned out. But I still had more than one choice. I didn't apply for and or accept a job that I knew was going to make me 1,000% miserable. And I never treated anyone else like crap because I hated my job. And I never refused to do my job. Any postal worker that tells you they are not going to scan your packages, put your packages on the counter and cross your arms and ask to see their postmaster, their boss, whatever the hell they're called, and stand there. Because guess what? They want their line to move more than they want to stare at you all day. And the minute you say to get their person, and if their person comes out, I always forget their name, postmaster general or whatever their boss is. If they come out and they still refuse, stand there. Cross your arms. It's a federal building. They cannot remove you. And get on the horn and call someone else. They'll do it. I know a lot of people don't want to cause a scene and you feel sorry for them and they're underworked and they're understaffed. I don't care. It's their job and they need to do their job. And not giving out tracking numbers, not picking up packages, not scanning packages. That's all part of their job. But even worse than that, you are paying for a service. Guess what, Mary? You're not paying for a kiosk. Mary, you're paying for an employee. You guys are forgetting that you're paying for a service. When you purchase postage, the $300 to $400 to $500 a day that Keith and I spend on postage is spent with the expectation. That's the word I want. We spend that kind of money every flippin' day with the USPS, not UPS, not FedEx, not Pirate Ship. We go straight through eBay on USPS and we spend $300, $400, $500 a day on shipping because we have the expectation that we're going to get it scanned in and we're going to get a tracking number. Because if they're not giving out tracking numbers, your package could go home with the postal worker, the person who told you they're refusing to scan it. Well, gee, I've always wanted a Yoda Tiki mug. I'm going to take this home with me because I didn't give her a tracking number and she believed me. They have to scan it. They have to give you a tracking number. Part of the purchase agreement with them, if you go to McDonald's and you agree at the time of purchase that you're going to pay $5.89 for a Big Mac, and they bring you a burrito from Taco Bell, is that acceptable? No. There's another analogy for you, Sherry. So when you purchase your postage from the United States Postal Service, you're purchasing not just a label, not just a shipping label, not just shipping. You're purchasing a service, meaning if you want to go online and request a pickup, you can. It's part of what you paid for. If you want to have yourself go in and have them checked in at the counter, you can. You can use a bulk scan sheet and have them check them all in at once, or you can make them scan them one by one. But it's part of the service. Any postal worker that tells you they're not giving out tracking numbers or scanning is either A, lazy and doesn't want to do their job, 2, being told a complete huge misrepresentation and lie by their boss because their boss is trying to get around the fact that they're short-staffed and nobody wants to do their jobs and they got all this backlog. But you know what? Even when I worked in direct care, I had upper management come in heels, skirts, and dress shirts into the homes that I did direct care in, roll up their sleeves and help cook dinner, help do dishes, help give showers, help change people, help take care of people when we were short-staffed. We had upper management come in their business suits and vacuum and do all of that stuff with us and help us take care of people because they remembered, one, where they started from, and two, what we were there for and what our jobs were. So if it's that backed up, I mean, I don't know, maybe the manager could come out of his office and help. We see ours every day. He sits on a chair and he's always eating and he's never helping. All right, guys. So that is my rant. That's another thing. If you just drop them off, maybe Miss Susie Q at the register ain't going to take it, but somebody's going to, especially in those busier post offices with tons of people in and out. Everybody's got half their face covered nowadays with masks. People might be brave. I don't know. But it is their job. And when you hand over your hard-earned money to pay for their labels, you're paying for a service. You are not just paying for a label. You are paying for the opportunity to have a tracking number to track your item from point A to point B, and that includes checking that item in, whether it's on your porch or at the post office. All right, guys, I've gone over an hour. I've ranted, I've raved, I've been sassy. Let me quickly look and see how many Tuesdays we have left. We have 2 Tuesdays left in the year. Phew. And then the year of the poop will be over, and hopefully 2021 won't be a shit show or a dumpster fire. I think I've sworn enough in this video. It's probably going to get demonetized. But that's okay. I didn't drop any F-bombs. PG-13 swears. Oh, yes. For those of you that came in late, I got a year of the poop ornament from Colleen. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below if you're watching the replay. If you're watching this after December 15th, you're watching the replay. Again, please be respectful and keep politics out of the comments. I will not approve anything that I don't want on the comment section, and that includes political and argumentative and childish remarks. We can all be adults. We can all have different points of view and still be respectful. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave, guys. It really helps the channel. If you're new here and you haven't already, please subscribe. Help us feed a hungry hippo. Don't they look so hungry back there? Help us feed all of our hungry hippos. We got tons of them. And don't forget to join our Facebook group. It is called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. And it is on Facebook. You can search for it. Or you can use the link down below. If you're watching the replay, it's in the description box on all our videos. Love you too, Mama. Thank you guys so much for coming in tonight and spending over an hour with me. Thank you for putting up with my sassiness and my snarkiness as it continues to get worse the longer 2020 goes on. You guys are the best. I love spending time with you. I love interacting with you in the chat. Live shows have always and will always be my favorite part of being a YouTuber. You guys are the best. Go be productive. Go make some money. Get your packages scanned. Track those items. Do the best you can, guys. That's all we can do. Love you guys. You guys are the best.